took the kick drum, so one kick drum track I've got in waves from this to this.
You're listening to the Inside the Mix podcast with your host, Mark Matthews.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Inside the Mix podcast. If you are a new listener, make sure you hit follow wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you get notified of new episodes. And to the returning listeners, as always, a huge welcome back. And of course, the viewers as well, a big welcome back. On the 22nd of November, I dropped my new track, Waves. And there's two versions. There's the full length, which is about 6.5 minutes. And then there is the radio edit. So it's been played on BBC Introducing and some other places as well. So it's doing all right, considering the time of year. And I haven't released anything for probably about a year. If you haven't done so, click the link in the episode description. Give it a spin. Add it to your progressive house or your house or melodic house, deep house, whatever it may be, playlists. So in this episode, I'm going to demonstrate how I took the kick drum, so one kick drum track I've got in waves from this to this. And I achieved that with a free plugin. So let's dive in. So I completed the first mix and I sent it across to my good friends R9 and Neon Highway for some feedback. They've been on the podcast numerous times, probably more so in 2023. And the general consensus was that the kick drum sounded good, but it just wasn't powerful enough. And shout out to R9 in particular here. He pinpointed, or rather he pointed me in the direction of this Plugin Alliance plugin called BX Subfilter, and it's a free plugin, and it's a fantastic piece of kit. Now, there is a caveat to this. This will not fix a poor choice of kick drum sample, so get that right first. So don't think I'll settle for this kick and then I'll use Subfilter to fix the issues I've got with this kick sample. Get the kick sample right first, and this is just like sweetening it, and a little does go a long way. So what is the BX Subfilter? In short, it is a resonant high-pass filter with a changeable frequency. It's got 5 controls: gain in, tight punch, low end, gain out, and resonant. When I first used it, or rather when I used it on this track, I started with the bass drum extreme preset, and it sounds like this. Okay, bit too much for my liking. So the first thing I did was I changed the resonance, and this is where it's accentuating the resonance of that high pass filter. And you've got low, high, and extreme. Obviously from low it's going to be less, extreme is going to be more. And I now like to start with it in the middle. So I changed it to high. I then changed the tight punch frequency, and this is where the high order high pass filter is set. So it's going to be attenuating unwanted frequencies and also accentuating the wanted lower frequencies as well. And I just swept around basically until that bass drum just really popped out. So I'm going to solo it this time, and then I'm just going to sweep around. I think I got to about 50 hertz last time. So let's give that a go. Yeah, hopefully you heard that. I dragged it down to about 35 hertz and it just lost some of that power. So I'm looking, or rather I'm listening for where it just jumps out at me, that bass, those low frequencies just jump out in my headphones, and also the sub and the speakers when I was mixing this. So yeah, 50 hertz is what I settled with. And then I moved on to the low end parameter, and this is a fixed bandpass filter at 55 hertz, and it's post-tight punch, and it's just going to boost those frequencies around there. And I think I had it set to 6 if I remember rightly. So I'll play it, and I'm going to play it in the context of the mix, and then I'm just going to sweep around, because you kind of want it. You want to get that sweet spot where it's not too much, but it's there and it's powerful enough. Yeah, so I set it on 6 there. I dragged it back to 2. You could feel it was losing its power. So the final parameter we're going to do here is obviously we've added this extra sort of signal level to this, and we've got to think gain staging, right? So I want to gain match it before and after. So I'm going to drag it down. I think I got to about minus 4 dB on the output in total. So let's play it, and I'm just going to drag the gain out down until it gets to where I want it to be. So let's play it before or after, and let's see where that kick drum is in terms of loudness. Okay, it's about minus 22. It feels quite low in the mix now, doesn't it? So I'm going to play it with the sub filter enabled. Yeah, I got the output down to about minus 5 this time. I might be inclined to go a bit lower, but I'm going to leave it where it is. Now, when I solo this, you'll notice that there's kind of like a bit of a squelchy noise on the kick drum, so I'll play it. It's right at the tail of the kick. It's going at the end of the kick. I was happy with the kick drum sample. Now, when you solo it, that you can hear it. But in the context of the mix, I was happy that it was inaudible. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. It was more prominent just now when we were playing it, when I hadn't adjusted the gain output, and you could hear this like sort of squelchy sort of sound at the end. But it's less prominent now. I've brought the gain down, but obviously it was louder in my headphones because it was 5 dB louder. So let's do again a before and after. So this is without the subfilter. And this is with the subfilter. So there we go. It's a free plugin. It's got 5 parameters and really easy to use. But again, make sure you get your kick drum sample correct first before using this. You can also use it on bass. You've got the subsynth, which is like its bigger brother, if you will. And this is like one portion of the subsynth. And I use the subsynth on the bass. That's a great plugin, but it's not free. But this one is, so give it a go, folks. Fantastic piece of kit. If you've enjoyed this episode, I want to hear from you. Click the link in the episode description. Click the SpeakPipe link and leave me a 30-second audio message. It doesn't have to be 30 seconds, but up to, detailing why you enjoyed this episode and why you would recommend it. And also, give yourself a shout out. And as an added bonus, each month I will draw a lucky winner from a virtual hat to win a coffee voucher on me. And if you don't like coffee, just give it to someone else and pretend you gave it to them. So, click the link in the episode description, and I cannot wait to hear your episode recommendations.